Good morning, traders, and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Wednesday, December 24th. Okay, let's get into the action, see what's going on. We're watching the S&Ps. The S&Ps are they're flat to higher. We're up 0.01. We were down 0.02. We're essentially flat on the morning, which isn't surprising on a day like today. Remember, it's going to be a shortened trading sessions. Markets are going to be closing early, so we get a lot of activity to kind of parse through today in a shorter period of time. For example, the one key economic data point that is coming out today is the jobless claims report. That is coming out today on Wednesday. Typically, this report comes out on Thursdays, but due to the holiday, they're releasing it a day earlier. In deal news, Sanofi, they're acquiring DataVax, ticker DVAX. That came out this morning. Intel, you got to watch shares of Intel. They're off by about 4% this morning. There's news that NVIDIA has halted testing of the AI production process. Not good for Intel. Shares of Nike, they're moving higher after the company filing, which indicated Apple's Tim Cook took a large position. Interesting. There's not a whole lot on the earnings front happening today, so we're going to switch over and take a look at the global markets, and we're looking at the DAX. So the DAX was closed due to the holiday. Remember, Europe is closed, tomorrow and Friday as well, but the DAX also closed today on Christmas Eve. The FTSE, it's trading slightly lower. I mean, it's down, it's down 0.24%. It's being pressured by weakness in healthcare and financials. But in Paris, the CAC, that's actually trading higher by 0.11%, mainly driven by gains in luxury stocks. And again, they're going to be closed Thursday and Friday. So this is the last trading session for the week for these exchanges. Then we're moving over to Asia. We're going to start off with the Nikkei. The Nikkei actually fell 68 points, which is only 0.14%. But the thing is, Japan came out with probably the most important news over the weekend because the minutes of their Bank of Japan meeting came out and were released. And they indicated that the BOJ officials are considering additional rate hikes for next year. This is kind of an issue for an export-driven economy that relies on a weak yen. So, in terms of the action, the yen strengthened and, you saw some underperformance in autos and financials. But that Bank of Japan news, meeting minutes, that was the key news event in Asia overnight. Then we're looking at Hong Kong. Hong Kong gained 0.17%. Saw some strength in financial stocks, and in China, the Shanghai market was higher by 0.53, about 0.5% higher. And you know what led that market higher was the gains in tech shares. I mean, U.S. regulators announced a delay in their planned semiconductor tariffs to 2027. That's looked at as positive, and that's why you saw tech stocks rally in China, which was good to see. Then we're looking over at oil this morning, and guess what? Oil is continuing to trade higher. You get WTI at $58.51 a barrel. You get Brent at $62.44 a barrel. I mean, listen, all the bearish fundamentals are there. We know them. In fact, the stockpiles, API stockpile estimates came out yesterday after the close, and you know what? It showed that inventories rose by 2.4 million barrels last week. That's negative, for oil prices, but it's ticking higher due to the situation in Venezuela, which remains fluid. I mean, while Venezuela is not a major oil exporter, it's the situation that's causing oil to be concerned. The U.S. has a blockade of both the sea and air going on in Venezuela. They're targeting various ships, and especially the ships that are flying, no flags or flying flags that are, not representing any country. Those ships are definitely opened to be boarded. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about, the upcoming economic events coming out today, which really is the jobless claims. And the estimates are calling for initial claims to come in at 225K. Now, a reading near this range is going to reinforce the view that layoffs remain confined or contained, and that the overall labor market conditions continue to show that the market's resilient. So that's kind of positive. Let's see what those claims number come in at this morning when they're released 1 hour before the market opens. Okay, take a look at the markets this morning. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got about 12 lower. I got about 15 higher. Number unchanged. Looking at my FANG stocks this morning, and seeing a little weakness in, Meta, Netflix, and Apple, but Amazon and Tesla and Google are all trading higher. Looking at some of the news behind the tape, Apple's going to appeal that fine that they were hit with by the Italian competitive authority. Meta Platforms was ordered by Italy to allow rival AI chatbots on their WhatsApp application. Google, they're going to be updating the Waymo division. They're going to be updating the software after that San Francisco power outage. Remember, it didn't affect the cars; it affected the streetlights, and the Waymo cars didn't know what to do when the power went out at the streetlights. They didn't plan for that. Tesla's really getting very high PE ratio. Very concerned. It's trading near that all-time high. As vehicle sales start to weaken, I'm a little concerned there. Let's talk Dow Jones 30 stocks. We got to talk about Nike, ticker NKE. Listen, the shares are higher because Apple Tim Cook's acquiring $2.95 million stock position. Insiders of the company are also, taking stock. But Tim Cook, it doesn't seem, normal that he's taking a big equity position. This is the first one I ever remembered. But, that position is really helping the stock move higher this morning. Visa, ticker V, they authorized a deposit of $500 million into a U.S. litigation escrow account. A little concerning. Why an escrow account? That's it's kind of a drop in the bucket for them, but still. You got to be concerned there. In terms of merger news, Santa Fe, they're buying DVAX, David Victor Apple X-Ray, in a $2.2 billion deal that was announced this morning. There's not a whole lot going on in terms of shareholders meetings or buybacks or catalyst events, but so we're going to move on into our stock pick of the day. And today, I'm looking around for something that I think could have some opportunity, and I'm kind of, cautiously optimistic on Robinhood this morning, ticker HOOD. Listen, they attracted $100 million in deposits from 10,000 customers recently. That was announced. Now you look at yesterday's call volume, 125,000 versus 70,000 puts. That's positive. I like that. And open interest is 1.1 million versus 700K. That's positive. And then you do a review of what the major brokers, and they do like it. They got these price targets around 150 for the stock. One of them just came out recently and raised the price target a little higher. Overall they're positive on the stock. But for me, I gotta be a little concerned of a little bit of some weakness this morning. So I'll say a target price of 119.65, but definitely under 120. I want to get in under 120, but I'm going to say 119.65 is an entry price, and I do think that we're going to see some positive turnaround in the stock today. So that's my pick of the day. HOOD, Robinhood, 119.65. All right, let's take a look and see what is hitting on the tape this morning. ST Stardust Power secures financing for Oklahoma lithium refinery. Interesting. BX, U.S. Department of Justice files consent decree to resolve claims against LiveCore. Netflix tells investors to reject mini tender offer by TRC Capital. TRC Capital does this all the time. They throw in these ultra low bids. Boeing was awarded a contract over $2 billion from the Defense Department, or now Department of War. BP sells a 65% share of Castro to Stonepeak for $6 billion. UiPath, that's ticker PATH. It's going to be added to the S&P 400 on January 2nd. U.S. Moves troops and additional special ops aircraft into the Caribbean. Oh, man. Trump's out there saying anybody that disagrees with me will never be the Fed chairman. Like I said, loyalty is number one in his list. All right, that's all I'm seeing this morning in a quiet session. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about our stock pick from yesterday, which was Nike, ticker NKE. I mean, the stock opened up at 57.18. And it fell down to 56.99 before rebounding and closing at 57.34. I mean, I was looking to get in, low 57. So it was essentially a flat trade. And then this morning on that Tim Cook news, the stock's rebounding, and it actually is showing a huge gain this morning, up over 2%. It's trading at 58.56, which, hey, sometimes you get lucky, and that's what happened with Nike. Nike's moving higher, so we beat the 1%. So you got to be happy about that. All right, traders, that concludes today's podcast for NewsWare's Trade Talk. You guys know what to do. You guys know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.